And then immediately after that, he's mortified and just goes, well, you're the one that cheated to get the lead role.
Yeah, way to fib, dude. Way to fib. She tells you that in confidence. Way to fib.
In confidence? You mean in blackmail?
I think she was confident when she was blackmailing him.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he's got you there.
You got me there, guy.
Hello and welcome to another arc of My First Anime. This week and the next, we will be discussing the anime Flcl. I am your host, Chris Bailey.
I'm Salvador, also known as Monkey.
I'm Anthony Vaught.
And for this section, you wait until your name is spoken.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I had to get in the back of the bus.
It is podcast etiquette that guests do not speak until addressed. Yeah, so this...
I hate everything.
I'm loving this. This is great.
Bringing Flcl to us is our special guest, Matt Clemens. Matt, how's it going?
Yo.
If this is your first time listening, and for Matt, we do this book style or book club style, try to really dive deep on the anime. General conception was that 3 people with different expertise. I'm somewhere in the middle on anime. Monkey has watched a lot, and Anthony, at the time we started this, had watched none.
Still only like 4 in, to be fair.
True. So with that in mind, we all talked about this at the beginning of Cowboy Bebop. We're not going to do it every time. But for Matt, our guest, what is your relationship with anime? Like, what's your journey with it through your life? Any favorites? What got you into it? That kind of thing. And to top it off, if you're currently watching anything now.
I mean, I haven't been watching anything lately, but I would say that I put myself on that moderate level. I really like anime, and I liked it a lot more from my childhood, but I have not had enough time to really keep up with newer anime as times went by.
What got you into it, if you remember? Like, do you remember your first anime?
My first anime? I would actually have to say that I was watching Gundam Wing with my brother growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember getting in trouble quite a bit, actually, for watching Flcl when I was a child, getting caught up late at night.
Oh, yeah. What was it, like a 12 o'clock slot or something?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was up by the time that my dad had gotten up and went off for third shift, and then my mom would get up and catch me, and then, I'd proceed to be in a whole shitload of trouble, but it would happen almost on a weekly occurrence.
You should have just explained the thematics of Flcl and why it was okay for you to be up watching it.
Yeah, you try explaining anime to 2 Marines and see how far they get you.
I imagine very. So my segue didn't work exactly as planned. If you notice how I snuck it in there.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, the segue to Anime Minute.
Yeah, see, Monkey picked up on
Anime
it.
Minute, Owens?
Still going on Hunter x Hunter. Still in the Chimera Ant arc. Still good. Full thoughts on that when I finish it. It is getting much better, I think. The villains are really interesting. Hunter x Hunter has great villains.
Yeah, yes, they do.
The other thing is I finally got around to finishing Great Pretender.
Good.
Yeah.
Why does that not sound good?
Anime, we need to talk, okay? Anime, can I see you for a minute in my office?
Yeah.
Anime, stop trying to do, like, pick a thing and do that thing. But, like, it always feels like I have, like, the inverse problem that I had with Devil's a Part-Timer that I do with Great Pretender, where, like, Great Pretender is this, it's a fun heist show. That's cool. Look at these rascals doing heists. And then it's like, it's becoming about these people confronting and overcoming their traumas from their lives literally being destroyed. And the character work they do is actually good. But then it all just kind of gets sidelined for more heist stuff that we have already seen for the past 20 episodes, and it goes nowhere, and that's like super annoying. And we're just supposed to be like, oh yeah, okay, the girl who's like super angry all the time because she watched her parents die and then has PTSD from getting roped into war in Iraq. She's fine now, don't worry about it. And we're just supposed to be like, okay.
Oh wow. So I should still watch it though, is what you told me.
Yes, you will probably not take issue with it in the way I do.
Okay.
It's fun. If you think about it, it kind of crumbles a little, but it's a fun show. Anime, be better. Stop putting one guy in a room who wants to make a better show and then ignoring him. But yeah, that is my anime minute. How about you, Monkey?
I have officially dropped Jujutsu Kaisen, wherever it is. I think I'm going to try to read the manga, but right now, where I hold about the manga is it's stuck right now, so it's like I shouldn't read it until they get past this arc. So I dropped that one, and the last episode of Haikyuu, well, not the last, but the last episode of the season was last week, and it was good. I cannot wait for the dumpster fight. Yes, they have a match. It's called the dumpster fight because one team is the crows and the other team is the cats, and so when cats and crows fights in the dumpster apparently. But other than that, I haven't been really watching anything. I still am trying to get through My Life as the Villainess, or whatever it is, where I talked to you guys yesterday, but I don't know why it's not grabbing me. The last episode really bored me to death. Like, the thing is, everybody has magic powers, but they don't do magic until, like, they need to. It's weird. So it's like, oh yeah, these guys have magic powers. And I'm like, I forget the show is like this. Forget the show is like about, there's like a girl trapped in a dating sim game, and then they have magic powers for some reason. And they don't discuss it until they discuss it. You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so other than that, that's what I've been watching. Oh, also, not an anime, but Curb Your Enthusiasm. Fantastic show. I recommend it. It's not an anime, you guys, but watch it. It's so fucking good. Bishonen. Oh my gosh. Larry David's not a shonen character.
No, I said a bishonen.
Oh, bishonen. I don't know what bishonen is, but
that's like the term for like pretty anime boys, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow. But it's so fucking good. I thoroughly recommend it. I'm trucking along the second season now.
I second that recommendation.
Anthony?
Nothing anime wise. I'm still on that holiday binge, like just family all over the place right now. And we started, like I said, work started back up for me. So I just haven't had a lot of time. The only thing I have been watching is like non-anime. It's just Schitt's Creek. I finally got involved in that.
Oh, how good is it?
Oh, that's pretty good.
I was about to say, if I didn't know that you had watched 2 seasons of Schitt's Creek, if it was a worse show, I'd be very mad at you.
Yeah, no, I've been having a ball with Schitt's Creek.
Okay, so let's talk quickly about Fooly Cooly. It's 2003. You're 12 years old. It's midnight. What's this show? This seems interesting. Let's watch the anime.
Jesus Christ.
And that is how a bunch of fucking weeblings developed a complex about manic pixie dream girls with a cool streak. And kind of introduced
dream girls.
God damn, way to oversimplify a character. Shit.
Oh, dude, trust me, I am not going to oversimplify. But when you're fucking 12 and you see Haruko, you're like, okay. I get it.
Okay.
Actually, the sad bit is that you could actually confuse which character you're fucking talking about with that statement.
I fucking hope not, because Mamimi will burn your house down and kill you in your sleep.
So, Manic Pixie.
Except the main goal runs you over and hits you with the guitar. What are you talking about?
But it's fun and whimsical because it gives you a robot.
Whimsical, my ass.
But also, she's so cool.
No way.
Oh my god.
Listen, I'm just saying. If a cool older lady wants to run me over and hit me with a guitar,
you're into that stuff. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just saying.
That you're fucking insane.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Fooly Cooly was like such a weird thing because outside of like that, which I'm like 30% joking, it also like I think gave genesis to the kind of raw random kind of humor in the budding Western anime community, which sucks because like on further inspection, this show is like anything but that. But of course, when you're 12, you don't see through it. So just real quick, everyone's relationship history with Fooly Cooly.
Anthony, go first.
It all started for me back about 1 day ago when I watched the first episode. And I was very inebriated last night when I watched this episode.
Great.
Oh, wow.
So I'm real excited to actually, it's kind of funny. Me and Matt were actually playing an ARM last night, and then he hopped off, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to knock out Fooly Cooly. I'm fucking half a fifth in. Let's do it. So I'm pretty excited to get to my notes.
I am proud of this.
For me, it's kind of what I said, but also I haven't watched it since it dropped off Adult Swim, I think. And I definitely had the perspective of this is a cool, fun show, and I kind of get what it's doing, but I don't fully understand what it's doing. So it's really so far interesting to go back with all the added perspective. And honestly, I'm kind of seeing it in a totally different way now.
Yeah, I don't know when I watched this. I just remember I watched this when I was young. And oh my gosh, did it go over the top of my head. I mean, I watched all 6 episodes just because you're done with the series after 6 episodes. So you get the whole story. Supposedly, you get the whole story in 6 episodes. It's a cool show. Fucking the main girl is running around with a bass guitar, hitting people with their heads, and she has a cool ass Vespa. I did not realize how lame scooters are until I was older, but when you're younger, Vespas are pretty fucking cool. But yeah, I watched it, and I've watched it again, if not, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. And I thought it was fine, and then I watched it again. I was kind of disappointed this time, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of disappointed. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Matt, how about you with Fooly Cooly?
For me, this is honestly my favorite anime to watch. The reasons for saying that is that it, for me, is just something I can sit down and watch, and it's just a ton of dumb fun. If I don't want to pay attention, it's just fun to watch. If I want to pay attention, there's a lot of detail that you'll pass over. And when I say that, I watched this thing probably more times than I care to admit, considering I had it on my old iPod video back in the day.
Guess.
Nice.
If you had to guess, you get the exact number, you win $10 million. What's your number?
Yeah, anyway.
No, pick a number. Guess.
I don't know. I'm going to say, because I used to watch it on car trips, I'd probably say I've watched it somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 times.
Oh, okay. I was expecting I don't know, 100.
I would say at least minimum 8 times.
Okay.
And then for me, I really like the show because it's got a lot of the little hidden details, but the story is decent enough, but the overall show just doesn't take itself overly seriously. And that's what I like in an anime. I want an anime that's just entertaining to watch, that if I want to turn my brain off, I can. If I want to pay a little bit more attention to it, I can. But it's not just constant barrage of just mind-numbing information.
I'm just going to say I've been approaching this very much brain firing on all fucking cylinders. I think the show might be genius.
I was kind of getting that vibe too, man. The amount I had to pause and be like, all right, I got to unpack about 4 fucking things that they said right now.
Dude, the last 3 episodes have so much shit in them, you have no idea.
Yes, it really does.
Because the first one was can we stop for a second? Oh my God.
Oh, the first one is manic and crazy, but I think it's the lightest in terms of content for you to be oh, I see. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this.
Number 1 is rather just crazy and getting you introduced to the series. 2 kind of takes a slower pace and is kind of the oddball. 3 kind of starts to pick back up into that manic, and then it just starts to go absolutely hog nuts with the fucking just going to blast as much as I can at you while still being funny.
Yeah, it doubles down on literally everything. But quick housekeeping before we jump into episode 1. Fooly Cooly is made by Kazuya Tsurumaki and Yoji Enokido, both who came from Evangelion. So great pedigree there. The music is done by Shinkichi Mitsumune. He does a lot of the original more composition stuff, but most of the music, especially if it sounds more full band, is done by the Pillows and absolutely fucking slaps.
Yeah, the music is, oh my God, fantastic in this series.
Yes, I highly recommend the Pillows as a band from their other stuff I've heard outside of this anime. Probably only doing 4 characters for this series. I might rope in the guy who gets introduced in 4. I forget how big of a role he ends up playing. We'll see. So just run down the list real quick. We've got our main boy, Naota Nandaba, voiced by Jun Mizuki in the original, a woman for anyone who wasn't sure. She did not have any other roles that really jumped out at me. A lot of these voice actors are fairly light in their roles, which I found was really interesting. In the English, he is Barbara Goodson, who is Laharl from Disgaea, who now that I read it, I hear it, and holy shit, the fact that I never connected that. And weirdly enough, Lady Vosh in Warcraft.
Didn't she also do something for like Power Rangers back in the day?
That's entirely possible. The downside to this is I only do stuff that I feel like is going to have context for me, or I know is going to have context for someone else here, and I don't know about Power Rangers. Next, we've got Haruko Haruhara, voiced by Mayumi Shintani, who does this. I'm now understanding, I think, why I like this character so much. Non Jakazure from Kill la Kill.
Hell yeah.
My fucking girl, dude. She's so goddamn annoying, and I love it.
It's so good.
And I don't know who this character is, but stay with me. Lucia Fex from Promare.
Oh, I don't know who that character is. I have to look at the picture.
Promare is the Trigger movie that came out recently, I think, but that's not important. English voice actor is Carrie Walgreen, and this was actually her debut anime role. She does Fu in Samurai Champloo, Taoya in Naruto, who I don't remember who that is, but the name rings a bell. And this mini game I like to play with myself, even though it's not a game. It finally happened. She does Lucia Fex from Promare. English and Japanese voice actor doing the same character.
Okay.
She also does Ash from Final Fantasy XII, Lilica from Rogue Galaxy, Ovelia from War of the Lions, Elika from Prince of Persia 2008, and Aranea Highwind from Final Fantasy 15.
Well, probably heard her voice then from the Prince of Persia and War of the Lions.
Oh, she did a voice in Card Captors.
So it's kind of wild because I went through this entire... No one here, I think this is a first, has been in My Hero.
That is really fucking weird. Oh my gosh, you're right. What the fuck?
0 My Heroes so far in Fooly Cooly.
God, every time we introduce people, you're like, and for this person from My Hero Academia.
But yeah, apparently a lot of fucking people are in Card Captors too. I always see it, but I never write it down because I don't even know what a Card Captor is. I assume it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, what? Where's your point? You talking about Card Captor Sakura? Oh my! You talk about a staple in anime culture? You don't know what that is, and you're saying it's Yu-Gi-Oh?
I said it's similar to a Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know if I would go as far as to put Card Captors as a staple, but it is a big thing.
I'm sure. Mamimi Samejima, voiced by Izumi Kasagi. No other roles that I noticed.
You want to say that name again?
Mamimi Samejima.
Oh my god.
What's up?
It's Mamimi.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Mamimi. It's the last name was messing me up. Because I was originally thinking of it as Saejima, but I had to remember there was Samejima. So I was thinking of the May sound. Yeah. So Mamimi Samejima. In the English, Stephanie Shea, who does Hinata from Naruto, or Hime from Bleach, Yui from K-On!, Usagi Tsukino from the Viz dub of Sailor Moon and in Sailor Moon Crystal, Latte in Little Witch Academia, Julie in Legend of Korra, Metis in Persona 3 Fest, and my fucking girl Stell Bright from Trails of Cold Steel Floor. Our final character that I'm going to be doing is Eri Ninamori, is voiced by Mika Ito in the Japanese. Other role I noticed was Satoshi Tainaka, who is Ritsu's little brother in K-On! And in the English, Melissa Fahn, who we have talked about before as Edward from Cowboy Bebop. Oh, I'm sorry, there is one more. Miu Miu, the fat cat. He is Hideaki Anno,
Really?
creator of Evangelion.
Really?
In the Japanese, in the English, he's everyone's favorite man, Steve Blum.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh my god.
So yeah, let's jump into episode 1. Fooly Cooly. We open on just a panning shot of the city Mabase. I'm just going to say it repeatedly at the beginning because I never wrote it down. I want to remember. There's a girl and kid hanging out under the bridge. Girl is talking about baseball. And obviously these are Naota and Mamimi. Fucking hate that name, dude. And then let's just go ahead and tell you what this show is about real quick. Naota asks her why she's always hanging around. She embraces him from behind. He tells her she smells like cigarettes. And like, why do you always do stuff like this?
Keep a note that she says she hasn't been smoking recently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that shit. I actually didn't even think about that. I know what you're referring to. She says, if I don't, I'll overflow. And he's like, so what'll happen? She's like, I don't know, probably something amazing.
I like that's kind of an adorable beginning scene, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it is until you realize that she's 17 and he's 12.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what they were going on either. I mean, at the moment, it's just a hug, right?
No, dude.
She bites his ear.
There's connotations.
Yeah, because he has a hickey in the next scene.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Also, the fucking boy carries his brother bat everywhere in this first episode, which is...
If we're going to ask the internet, the short definition, because this is one I had to fucking look up myself, is overflow was her way of communicating, parentheses, mostly sexual in nature, frustrations and emotions to Naota that makes sense to her.
Yeah, and I think overflow is a good term to describe what continuously happens with Naota and what happens with her and what ends up happening with Ninamori as well.
If you end up actually looking at her character a little harder, which it gives you more information later on, it gives you kind of an idea, a little bit of what's going on there, but it requires a lot of reading between the lines.
Yeah, and kind of to that note, I'm just going to say at the top, assuming I'm remembering the end of this series correct, like the back half of this series correctly, like I'm seeing it now that this series is like simultaneously very sad and very optimistic. And I mean, it's totally supposed to be because of what it's trying to depict. And the other thing is, I think that the puberty and sexual awakening metaphors are like, yes, they're very front and center, but I think this ends up being about so much more and like a deeper kind of like actualization and maturation and a deeper kind of love. We get Naota's monologue. Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary. The huge factory that can be seen from our town, the medical mechanica plant. All the adults got excited when it came here, like it was a really big thing. The white steam that bellows out every day at the same time. It looked to me like smoke that signified some kind of omen. Smoke that spreads out and covers everything.
That's just an iron.
That's what it looks like, is a big-ass iron.
Yeah.
Big-ass golden iron.
Just iron with like steam coming out.
And now you see the iron symbolizes the Monopoly piece because actually this is capital.
I see the irony here.
I think you're digging a little too much there on that. But.
And then our Vespa girl shows up, speeding down the street as Mamimi and Naota are walking back. He does not like sour drinks. He was just
about to say something about his brother, and she paused and froze up.
Yeah, right before that, though, she like takes a sip from his drink and hands it back to him. And he looks petrified at the idea of drinking from the same container.
Oh, it's not just that. She forced him to get a sour drink. Sour drink, right?
Yeah. He doesn't like sour drink.
And he already said, like, I don't like sour drinks. But
he put the money in the machine, and before he could select what he wanted, she just came over here and said, I want this one.
Yeah, I definitely think I think this scene is doing two things. One, it's she just drank from this. If I drink from that, it's like our lips touched. Because they even do that later with one of the other characters. But also, yeah, I think his whole thing with like foods and flavors is they're also doing that here, and how he doesn't like sour drinks, but it's a more mature taste or whatever.
We
Yeah,
also
go
see
ahead.
the letter, right, Flash? Or the mail.
That's not till later on in the first episode. Or is it the first episode? Is it the second?
It's the fourth episode. We see them.
I remember before the moped comes by, or the Vespa, sorry. There's like a flash where you see the mail.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's
Yeah, he's
actually
right.
towards the end of the first one.
Well, you see it twice. It's
She's-
twice in the episode.
No, you see it right here because in my notes it says brother is in the U.S. and that's how you know it's because of the mail.
No, he says
Yeah,
my
he
brother
actually
in
said it,
America, but he doesn't actually show the mail. The mail doesn't show up till towards the end of the episode when they're running towards when he's running towards the bridge and she's looking through his crap in his room.
Yeah, I think Anthony is right that it does like flash it at some point, and you're talking about the scene.
I'm talking, dude, it's like 0.3 seconds. Like, it's literally like
Yeah,
they
you
flash
might
it. That's
be
why
right.
I paused it and went back. 'Cause like, that seems important. But it turns out...
It is, but it's...
Yeah, it turns out I feel like it kind of is, but it also is like, they show it later, so like, it's fine.
I mean, it is important in the way that like largely this show should be seen from Naota's perspective, and I think it does a good job of like showing you what's going through his mind. Yeah, so Mamimi is walking away. He throws his drink and gets upset and starts to yell something about his brother in the U.S. She stops in her tracks. He freezes. And before they can continue, Haruko runs him over with her Vespa. And he's dead. End of show.
Yep, that was a good one.
Yeah, they have the whole thing about like how he's dead. Haruko's... So, okay. Anthony,
Yo, dog.
Fully Cooley is some anime-ass anime. And I think it is very much it's the first one we've really watched that is like goes full anime in terms of like the wackiness and the weird animations and facial expressions and all that kind of stuff. So
I would say it takes that to the next level and goes Deadpool on anime.
kinda, yeah. So I'm curious, like this, I think, and this is the first scene that like really leans on it with like, oh, he's dead, and Mamimi being like, his name's not Taro and all that stuff. So I'm wondering how you respond to that.
So just the anime-ass anime.
Yeah, how do you feel about anime-ass anime?
I don't mind it. I kind of expected this more already from like just outside in looking into like commercials of anime that just pop on and stuff like that, where everyone's like, where like, you know, they'll do the waving of the arms really fast and like their head gets real big and shit like that. So I kind of expected this, and I honestly don't mind it at all in terms of like, if that's what you're asking me about. I don't know, but
No, I was just wondering because I think Fully Cooley gets away with it, but there's definitely other times where like the anime-ness of anime can be really grating.
yeah. So I don't have, like you kind of said, I don't have anything to compare it to really, except for like Ed stuff. But I know that I never came out of the story because of it. Like it felt correctly placed. I'm in.
I mean, I feel like that it's, for some people, it can be a little bit too jarring. Like they feel like they're watching a classical Sunday cartoon, and it's just like,
Oh, and then this comes on. Oh,
not that, but they'll just break physics and reality of a show entirely.
Mm-hmm.
you know what's funny though? I have written down like after the driver assumed death or whatever. I put this seems anime as fuck.
So what we got for the next? So he gets run over
by reindeer.
And then Haruko goes to revive him with her CPR.
quote unquote CPR with the follow-up question of, did she stick her tongue in?
Which we do not get an answer to.
I really love I put lover uwu jelly.
What?
Dude, I was drunk.
What did you write? Say that again?
So I put, here's my exact like 5 words: moped kiss, lover uwu jelly.
Lover?
Oh, that Mamimi
jelly.
was jealous of the incident.
And I guess she had a weird face probably.
Yeah, she
okay.
did not
And
like
instead
it.
of using uwu properly, I probably just put that for when anime happens.
Yeah, you definitely did not use uwu properly. We'll talk after class.
Oh, the during that kiss scene, they have the slow down moment with the fourth wall break where they start talking about.
Yeah, they go fucking trailer.
I wrote
Start
down
talking
fourth
about
wall
slow
break there
motion.
too. And that's
Yeah,
what
how
I
long
wrote.
it took?
No, that's what I wrote down, guys. I'm too drunk for this.
That was really good. I love that when they was talking about how they did the scene.
You got to hold your breath for that whole thing. That could give you cramps.
And he's like, you guys are actually going in slow motion? After that, start to kick it up. Haruko does one of the coolest things in anime and revs her guitar.
With what, like a chainsaw pull
Yeah.
string?
Yeah, she hits him in the head and starts shaking him out. Be like, where is it?
Yeah, she's trying to get whatever she's after to come out and is failing miserably. She's like, maybe it's time to hit him again.
So after she shakes him out, he wakes up and Haruko speeds off. And what's that, Naota? You want to introduce a theme to us? He says, a stupid adult not mature enough to grow up. Almost as if he's setting up the entire conflict of the show. And then he gets a horn. We cut to the school. The classmates are talking about the Vespa woman and her pervert curse.
The one that had the shaggy hair was the character, or was the voice actor that you all were trying to...
Steve Blum.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Naota misunderstands Vespa as wasp. I'm sure that's a pun in Japanese that I don't understand. We cut to the train tracks where Haruko has found Naota. Jesus Christ. All these names use letters that I don't want.
Vespan means wasp in Italian.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
You're probably going to see...
How would he make that connect? But, I don't know, but...
It's anime.
Especially for a 6th grader.
Okay, man. They just talk more about because he's got a bandage over his horn, and
He's accusing her of doing it,
Because he did it. What?
and she's wanting to see what's underneath there.
yeah. I just want to say I think the animation and like art style in this show is pretty great in general.
I really liked
Oh,
it.
it's fantastic. It's so good. I fucking love the animation of this.
But whenever it gives like the close up and Haruko is doing her serious face, it's so fucking good. Like she just looks like a totally different person. It's always angled like downwards.
It takes her from looking like the fun character to the straight psychopath.
Yeah.
That she is.
Hot take, sizzle, sizzle.
Well, I mean, if you really look at it, maybe not.
We'll talk about Haruko. I think a lot of her stuff comes in the back half.
Yep, psychopath.
I have a lot to say about her and why that's not true. But, well, and why it's partially true, actually.
Yeah.
It's one of those that's like, yes, but no, but yes, but no.
Yeah. Naota escapes through. He runs past the train, and Haruko is stuck sitting there because she's on her Vespa. The things are down. We head over to the hospital where the nurse tells him that he has Flcl disease, which is a big long explanation. I just wrote in crude terms, Flcl boner disease.
No, they give it another phrase in the English. It's like, oh, what the fuck was it? It was flipawoebo symptom or something.
I think it's something weird in the Japanese too, but it basically gets simplified to calling it Flcl disease.
They don't simplify it in the
Or
English version.
FLCL.
They don't simplify it in the English version, and they just say that, and they just say children grow horns from trying too hard.
Yeah, they have that, but there's also a line in there about like, oh, it's when your like skin hardens from stuff, and it's very much an allusion to boners.
Oh yeah, it's entirely a boner joke.
It was Haruka the nurse at this time?
Haruko was the nurse, yes.
Okay.
She's always a nurse.
I didn't know if this had already happened.
Yeah, it shows at the end of the hospital scene. It shows the doctor and the nurse tied up naked, well, except for their undergarments.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, nah, I'm full of shit, and attacks him. He does manage to escape after we get like a almost Looney Tunes-esque outside shot of the hospital with it just bouncing around.
Yep.
Back at his home, Naota gets a call from Mamimi, and he rejects her and lies on his bed and has a brief remembrance about his brother.
Oh, the what she was calling about was the photos that she took earlier when he got ran over by the Vespa.
Yes, yeah, she wants him to come see them. And he's like, I don't care, they're just photos. Go hang out with your friends. Naota's a piece of shit.
I mean, you could give him a break on that. He's kind of had a rough fucking day.
No, he's just he's an asshole. Like,
He got his ass kicked.
I don't think that's true either.
I disagree.
At all. I was kind of being flippant when I said like everyone in the show is a piece of shit. I think there's like 2 characters in the show who are legitimately pieces of shit.
Can I guess one?
One we haven't met yet. Yeah.
The dad.
Hell yes. Absolutely. And the other one we haven't met yet. Everyone else, I think
The mayor.
yeah, he's not even a character. I don't think he even gets screen time.
He doesn't, but he's still a piece of shit by all definitions.
Sure. But like everyone else is just, they're all the other characters. I mean, even those 2 characters, but they still fucking suck, are all going through the same stuff in different ways and at different stages. And like, yeah, you can call Naota an asshole for how he acts towards Mamimi, but also she's trying to like use him as a surrogate for his brother. And the fuck. Okay. I didn't want to go into this so early, but the reason he's hanging out with her is because that's what he wants too. He wants to be seen like his brother for whatever reason. Up to this point, all we know is that he idolizes his brother.
Well, that's pretty much all the information that's really given up until this point, is that everybody idolizes the brother.
Well, just these 2 characters, really.
Well, even there's this, I think in the like episode 2 or 3, even the grandpa was like kind of being protective of the brother, like I don't want him dating her or whatever.
Oh yeah, sure.
So like you get they're definitely setting the stage that this brother is something, you know.
Yeah, he's hot shit.
I mean, he's
Exactly.
He's made something of himself. He's going over the U.S. and studying abroad to play baseball, I'm assuming at the university level.
Mm-hmm.
So he's fucking hot shit. He's up there.
And I guess I'll go ahead and just throw this out there now because it's something we're going to get into again with every character. I think it also is pretty clear that Naota was very close with his brother, and now his brother's gone. So not only do we get this like little bit of abandonment, but also an idea of being left behind because of the age gap. And Naota maybe feels like if he matures, then his brother will come back. It may not like that simply, but you know, that kind of fucking 12-year-old naivete.
It's the trying not to disappoint your family, in this case, the brother, by being seen as a lesser person.
Or a kid, because like his brother's an adult now. What kind of adult wants to, in his mind, probably like he doesn't want to hang out with a fucking kid anymore. So if I act like an adult, maybe we'll hang out still.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we in this fucking comic thing yet?
Yes. So first I want to call out the fat cat, because the cat shows up a lot and he's fat. It's great.
Well, the fat cat, has it shown up yet?
Yeah, this is like the second time.
Because the fat cat doesn't show up till after the comic strip scene, I didn't think.
No, he's before.
Oh.
Naota walks past him. He walks into the kitchen, then the comic strip scene happens. The manga scene. Which, holy shit, this scene is great.
What the fuck happened?
What do you mean?
And I don't know. I was too drunk to understand what was going on.
She shows up at the house and Naota is told that she is now going to be the housemaid because she ran over the father with the Vespa.
Oh, so
Yes.
Dad got hit with the Vespa too.
Yeah,
Did not realize that.
That actually comes back.
And then the mouth-to-mouth issue gets brought up, or Mamimi gets brought up, and then mouth-to-mouth gets brought up. Mm-hmm. And then they proceed to spend the rest of the time talking about what is fully coolie or free curry, depending on
Kri.
Yeah. So they spend so much time just trying to figure out what the hell that means, and don't get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
And then then she tricked the family into becoming a housekeeper.
She didn't trick
She
them.
didn't trick the family. Yep, she did not trick them.
Well, hold on. I think she did trick them.
She did it to avoid, essentially, if you want to think about it from a realistic standpoint, she did it to avoid a lawsuit. for having ran over the fucking father with a goddamn Vespa.
I think it was entirely intentional. I think it was her plan the whole time.
Well, probably, but that's not.
I can't wait to finish this episode so we could talk about Haruko and full, or this series.
So I have a brother note. Brother back on top. Brother something on top. Bunk on top.
You're probably talking about the bunks.
Okay.
We'll get there.
So we're not there yet.
The brother is back on top. Yeah, no, we're pretty much getting there. We go through the manga stuff. Haruko is either talking to herself or the cat or her alien boss in Naota's room.
It's the cat.
But is the cat the ley line to her alien boss?
That part I'm going to leave out, but she's talking to the cat.
Yeah. Naota comes in. Haruko says that she's an alien, and they talk more about what's under the bandage. Naota gets pissed off and is like, "You came here with my dad. Go stay with him. Get the fuck out of my room." And then one of the moments that should be paid very much attention to with regards to Haruko's character, I think. Because I think it is like partially manipulative. I think it's partially legitimate in that she kind of sheepishly tells him that you're the one I met first.
It's one of those 50-50. It can be argued both ways.
Like I said, I think it's a bit of both. And it definitely for Naota, like, makes him, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
Makes him question his own personal self. Like, he has to, like, leave the room because he's just like, I don't know what to make of this.
Or actually more than that, I think it's like, she's like, oh, you're the one I saw first. So to him, potentially that's something that's devoid of the typical kinds of judgment he's looking for. She's like, no, I don't want to go be with your adult dad. I'd rather hang with you.
Oh, it's it's not the judging you based on your brother.
Yeah, exactly.
That he's used to.
Yeah. It's judging him on him.
Nice.
But shit, I lost my place.
Did they cuddle?
Yeah, because she can't use the top bunk because that's where his brother sleeps. And so she gets on the bunk with him. And she's like, well, I can't get on the top bunk.
Yeah, I wrote down problematic, but I think I trust him. Isn't she like 19?
Who knows?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
She's claiming to be 19.
Yeah, she claims she's 19. The classmates or something, I think, posit that she's probably in her 20s. Also, she's an alien, so who the fuck knows? Naota goes downstairs because he's all flustered. His dad is there with Mamimi's photos, being an asshole.
He sold her the date-old bread that she asked for.
Did he sell it or did he give it to her?
It is implied sell because she came by looking for the day-old bread special. That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Naota runs off while we hear a song that someone wrote immediately after listening to the Pixies.
Oh, back up for just a second. Do note that he says something about Mamimi. He says he asked Naoto if her family is poor, because why would she be coming there for the day-old bread special?
Oh yeah, the dad does say something about that.
Yeah, he does. Which, holy shit, dude. I saw the show probably so many times when it was on Adult Swim. I never picked up on how fucking sad Mamimi is.
Oh, Mamimi is such a sad character.
Oh, it really is. The more you dig to her character, the more you're just like, I feel like dog shit because of this character. Although she is very self-harming, you just feel for her.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's not in a good space mentally. It's not her fault.
Well, you can say it is her fault in certain instances, but
I don't know enough about her yet.
I think that is a difficult line to try and walk, but I don't think for the whatever. We'll talk.
We'll dive that one a little bit later.
Yeah, we get to Mamimi smoking on the bridge. Her cigarette says "Never Knows Best" on it for some reason. Naota asks how much she likes his brother, and she starts to give a bunch of analogies.
Does he come in with his T-shirt with a 90-degree symbol on his shirt?
Yes,
you guys see that? Was
supposed to be for a baseball field?
Oh, really? Okay. I was like wondering what the 90-degree meant.
It's pointed. So instead of being like 0 to 90, it's like cocked at a 45 to a 135 degree angle. So it's showing a baseball field.
Oh, okay.
This is when Naota decides to drop the bomb that his brother has a girlfriend.
Not just any girlfriend.
He got himself a blonde one.
No, an American girlfriend.
Yeah, an American blonde girlfriend. Yeah, this is where we're intercut with the scene of Haruko struggling with whether or not to look at the photos.
Bro, I'll be honest. Didn't know anything like that was happening in this part. I don't know what happened, but like,
Well, she says that, and then you see her her little bracelet on her wrist start to jingle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when the alarms for the medical mechanica plant go off.
Yep, and also Mamimi gets a headache and basically passes out. And in response, the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but Naota's horn starts to break out. That shit starts happening. Haruka's racing over, and outside or through Naota's head burst two robots. Well, one full robot and one robot arm.
Yep.
And they start to fight.
Like the robot fights.
Yeah, these fight scenes rule. The music fucking jams.
You got the
So good.
robot arm that's like a tan or greenish kind of color, or grayish, and then the other one is red. The red is a very big thing to pay attention to.
Yes. Conti is important.
Red as a color is very important.
Yeah. Haruka shows up and whacks the robot. I don't know what the fuck that means.
She shows up, and this is right after Conti finishes killing the arm, and then proceeds to hit Conti in the back of the head with her base.
Right, and then Naota's like, "Oh, you look like my brother there," or something. Right?
He just says, "Wow." And he says, as soon as those words came out of my mouth, I knew they shouldn't have. For a second, she reminded me of my brother.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And then the best bit is they do this thing at the end of that scene where it's played as kind of a joke, or at the end of the fight, where she's just looking around going, "Where is he?" And Naota's still hung up by his shirt on Conti.
Yeah.
But there's extra connotation to that will have to be brought up later.
We cut back to the house. Conti's chilling, making some bread under the tutelage of Haruko.
I think this is why I wrote, I am way too drunk for this. Was I think right after the fucking head sprouting shit.
We get our first hit of Little Busters.
Little Busters?
It's the song that's going to play every time the fights happen. Every time Naota fuses with Conti, it's going to play, basically.
Gotcha.
It says Little Busters a lot. Naota...
It goes back to him giving monologue, I think, about how nothing amazing ever really happens or something like that.
Does it do that again?
At the very end, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It does end with him having another sour drink, though, and saying he reprises how he doesn't like sour drinks, but then he steals himself and he drinks it.
Also, he drank it after
Mamimi.
Yeah,
Mamimi.
Was there a quote that says, "Help get me off"?
probably. Oh god.
Yeah. That's
Probably.
him. That's him being hung up on Conti, and while she's going, "Where is he?" and "Help, get me down."
Okay. Because I wrote, "Help get me off," and then I wrote, "Please no."
Anthony just wrote "help get me off" 14 times on his notebook.
I did.
That is episode 1. Are we good with episode 1?
I'm good.
Is there any major questions or like that we might be able to tear through?
I have a question, not about the show, but Anthony, you said you watched episode 1 yesterday.
Yes.
So how were you feeling coming back in? You got to watch episode 1 of Fooly Cooley and then sit
Dude,
and
I
wait.
was excited. I'll be perfectly honest. Yeah, because last night I was like, dude, there's a lot going on here, and it wasn't like a lot. Like, holy shit, this is a lot. Like, I'm gonna have to unpack everything, and it was just like a lot, and I had a smile on my face the whole time.
Cool. I mean, yeah, dude, this is totally the kind of show where you're going to miss a lot on your first watch, I think.
And they tell you like a lot, or they tell you so much in every scene.
They've either got like 3 characters talking or some shit.
Yeah, and then like all the like even if you don't catch like the really big parts, like you get the goofiness. Like you're definitely gonna catch the goofy like anime stuff.
Yeah. Go to episode 2, Firestarter. You may have noticed by now, this show does not have an intro.
It doesn't.
It plays a lot of music, but there's no intro. Mamimi is at Naota school, and he's like, don't come to my school, because it's weird.
And then
I mean, yeah.
his classmates are like, what the heck? Are they dating?
Yeah, Aries what the fuck? Ninamori is talking mad shit. She's always like, pretty much every scene she's in, she's like, by the way, Naota, your new accessory looks like shit. Your bandage is dumb, your
So
hat's
good.
dumb.
So Ninamori, that's the jelly purple haired girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can tell she's jealous even though she's trying to play it off like she's too cool.
Yeah. She's like, oh, that girl seems dumb.
Bruh, jelly AF.
Which, honestly, mad respect for her in this show this time. Here we get the bit about Haruko looking at Naota's brain. He doesn't have a brain, but he's got new horns.
Yeah, it's shown as basically like a black hole in his skull.
So this
she
robot,
jams out. Yeah.
The robot's a fucking. It's got. Can you guys explain this here?
It actually get asked, why can this machine do x-rays? Because it's a medical mechanica robot.
Yeah, and it just sprouted from his head.
Yeah, she's like, why'd that come out of my head? She's like, I don't know. Great question.
Great question. Why isn't your brain there?
Oh my god.
It's just deflection entirely.
Yeah, that was wild.
Briefly before that exchange, she jams out and reveals herself as a Galaxy Patrol officer.
Galaxy Patrol officer.
First class Space Patrol officer in the English version.
Sheesh.
Which I'm gonna say it now. She changes costumes again. Pay attention to how many times she changes costumes in the show, or changes roles or titles or what she is. It's a lot. You didn't hear it from me, but just pay attention to that. Conti is outside loading the car, wearing black wings and a halo, because why the hell not?
Why is he working outside?
Good question,
That's so
Naota.
good.
Here's his dad to explain it to you using robot manga.
Jesus Christ.
There was so much anime references in this. Did you guys hear the big one?
Yeah, he wrote a novel on Eva.
Yeah.
And then like that's why he's like that's why he has the basis to say that why that robot can be outside working on shit.
And he also
What the
starts
fuck?
talking about like how humans and robots need to learn to work and live together. It's like, oh my gosh.
Someone
Sounds like iRobot.
passed the script over to Ano.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, where are my lines as the cat?
And then he like scribbled this part down and then passed it back.
Is
Young,
there any
you
other
say.
references in this? There's like a bunch of anime references.
Dude,
in this.
he talks about a lot of robot manga.
Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with most of them though, so or like any of them really. Naota goes off to see Mamimi under the bridge again. She has a new Takun kitten. Naota's like, wait, he's Takun too?
Taku. Yeah, that was good. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I want to mention this before we get there.
Yeah.
So when they're talking about like the dad's explaining the robot and there's all this thing, everyone's just vanishing.
Oh yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
showing
thought that was
different
a thing,
people.
too.
It's showing different people walking by, going, "What the fuck?" And then it just like we'll cut to the next person because they don't want to spend too much time with one person
Sure.
just staring at the robot.
I think
they
my-
want to show a whole bunch of different people looking at it.
The way I took that is he's giving this whole lecture on why it's cool. Like it's fine. But then it shows people roll up and see this robot and be like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah. But I think my favorite one was like, I think there was a little kid. The robot was inside. There's the little kid sitting on the steps. And the robot came out and the little kid got startled, turned around and went into like some ninja form to try to fight it and then just disappeared.
Yeah.
That one was my favorite one. I just wanted to bring that up.
So we're at the river with Takun and Mamimi and Naota. Mamimi talks about her game with, let me see, I have it somewhere. Her game Firestarter. It's a game in Ennsville with the City of Devils. And basically you have to burn shit down to please Contito,
Lord Conti.
the Black God or whatever. Oh, the God of the Black Flame. But Naota like kind of talks shit about her playing her game a little bit. And she's like, what, you don't like games? He's like, I'm too busy. I have to take care of people.
Yeah, that's a strange thing to say.
Well, he says that and then he has to leave because he has to go help someone. So
Yeah, he's not wrong.
he just doesn't have time.
But also like you have to remember that Nauta's whole thing is he's trying to be more mature.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's the I'm trying to give air that I'm the responsible adult that I need to be.
Yeah. For whatever reason, whether it's because he actually thinks he has to help people or because it's for his own self-satisfaction to get what he wants, remains to be seen. But to your point, he does have to go help somebody because Haruko has decided I'm going to drive my best Vespa through the wall of Medical Mechanica and see what happens.
Oh my god. So he knew about that?
I think she like called him or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she busts through and is hanging out with the cops.
No, I don't necessarily think it's cops. It's more like guards.
Hanging out with the cops.
Or security.
Yeah, with the
whatever.
guards. Yeah.
One dude's being a big old perv.
Yeah, it was.
Which, dude, she totally knows. She's playing that fool. Naoto rolls up and slams the cop in the head with a bite part.
Quit being weird, dude. Quit being a pervert.
Yeah.
We need to get.
He doesn't say quit being weird. He says, you're an adult.
Yeah, actually, that's worse. It's like saying I'm disappointed. I'm not mad.
The other thing was it's not just a bike part. He hits him in the head with a box and then hands the box over to Haruko, and she opens it up and pulls out a little Gundam figurine. And then proceeds to take that with a wrench over to her bike and start screwing it onto her bike, and it turns into a nut.
I missed most of that, I guess.
Yeah, I think I did too.
It's one of those like, what the fuck?
Although this is my favorite line so far, I think, was when the guard was like, "Is he your brother?" And then Taken was like, "We're not related. I'm human."
Yeah.
That was really funny.
And then she goes, "Yeah, he's my guardian."
Yeah.
And he's like, it's weird that you have a kid as your guardian, don't you think? He's like, yeah, but you came, didn't you?
That makes so much more sense now. That's funny as fuck, actually.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mamimi is stalking Kanti to a burned down building. He climbs up it and he starts flying.
And she keeps calling him a god throughout the whole thing too, right?
Yeah. And this is where she's like, oh yeah, he's a god when he starts flying. We get the scene of Haruko. And
Wait.
Yeah.
So she was following that guy. Do you guys see the cat, the Taku cat? When the halo was like floating or whatever, the cat like just points directly at the halo.
I did not see that.
It was so fucking funny. Like she was like, "What is that?" And the cat just like points, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yep.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, Takun's always fucking around. Oh shit. I think this actually comes at the beginning of the episode, like literally the first thing. It's a little bit of narration from Mamimi, where she says, "I saw a god the other day by the river on a rainy afternoon. He helped a kitten that was left all alone. It's a god that only I can see, a black-winged angel that came down from the heavens just for me."
Which
that sounds familiar.
Can be interpreted in several different ways. It can be really dark depending on how you read it.
Yeah, I definitely think there's probably multiple meanings to that. I didn't want to drill into it right now, but I just think it's something to think about with Mamimi's story for sure. We are with Naota and Haruko on the bike. I don't remember what they're talking about. It's a relatively normal conversation, I think, by their standards, and pretty chill. Naota has the internal monologue of when you're on a bike, the ocean's a lot closer than you think. The autumn salt wind went right through into the back of my nose, and maybe it's because, like Haruko said, my head was empty.
Wait, was that the scene that he goes, "Man, you're a shitty driver,"
Yeah,
is that the same one?
I think so.
Okay.
and then proceeds to just goes, "No, I'm I'm a very safe driver.
Yeah, fucking like pops a willy on a fucking Vespa.
Oh, see, in the Japanese, she says, "No, I'm not."
Oh,
Yeah, in Japanese, she says, "No, I'm not."
in the English, she says, "No, I'm a very safe driver." Then proceeds to just do some really dangerous shit.
I mean, I think they both still work in the sense that she's like, "Nah, I fucking got it under control." See,
I think the implication for the English one, because sarcasm is not as common of a thing in Japanese language as compared to English language.
sure.
So that when they localized it, they went ahead and were just like, yeah, let's just do this instead. By the way, like I've said before, there's going to be a lot of little small differences between the English and the subtitle.
Yeah, there usually are, and it's interesting to see like how that even changes connotations.
I mean, it really doesn't change much for the overall scenes as a whole, but it just it can be interesting.
So we go back to the house.
Just where Mamimi's outside.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of hanging out. The cats are Haruko's playing with the cat with Takun.
And the animation style goes weird. I'm not sure what the reference is there, actually.
I don't know.
Because they go into kind of more of a blurry animation style.
Well, I appreciated this because they put their names up there for me to concisely and clearly write down and the age that they were. So I was very appreciative. I wrote down.
Imagine if you could just Google something and find the character's name.
I don't Google animes until after I watch them.
You're probably not going to find a whole lot of spoilers to this one. I'm going to tell you that
Probably,
now.
but yeah, it's just a golden rule.
Unless you accidentally read an essay.
Accidentally read an essay.
Shit! All I wanted was Naota's name.
Damn it! 25 pages
I read
later.
this 45-page thesis. Yeah, it does show all the ages and names repeatedly. It always throws up a question mark for Haruko.
That's so good.
Yeah, we learned that Mamimi is 17 and Naota is 12. Again, cat having a great time. Goes and plays with the other fat cat. Kanti comes back from running errands, and he got both things he was asked to get wrong.
Yeah.
So we get a quick scene of Naota and his friends at another burnt down place. They say it was like a boathouse.
Oh yeah, this is where we get a little bit older brother stuff, right?
Do we? What do we get?
I thought Mamimo was like, this is the story where she's like, the first time I met your brother was during the.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not much with that. It's just like, hey, another thing burned down. Let's check it out. Arson's fun.
We're not supposed to be here. There's lines up. The police have already been gone.
Yeah. We see a quick shot of Kanti digging around in the same burnt wreckage. And then we get the scene that fucking broke my goddamn heart. We see Mamimi in the river wringing out her clothes, and the classmates.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I know her. She's like, she gets bullied all the time.
Yeah.
God, so sad.
And they talk shit about her like, that's kind of sad at that age. Which, fuck you guys.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro.
Yep.
She turns to look at Naota with a wild looking face. And the smoke starts to emit from Medical Mechanica.
I think the best way I can look to describe the face is essentially she's like essentially having almost an out of body experience where she's just distanced from everybody. She's just like, fuck all of this.
Yeah, I could totally see that. We cut to Naota walking home with Mamimi. They're just walking, not talking. She reaches into her pocket and drops her game and lights a cigarette.
Hey,
And then that's, yeah.
did you happen to notice what the game looked like?
What do you mean? Like the physical?
Yes.
Like what I mean, it just looked like halfway between a Tamagotchi and one of those just like, it's a single handheld game that you get to play, like that shitty football game.
I'm going to ask you one question, and it's going to go, what the fuck? What color was it?
It was red.
Red.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Great.
My man's going to drop some bombs on us.
Do it. Dude, for whatever reason, I'm like so bad at color symbolism unless I'm specifically paying attention to it.
Because you're colorblind.
Fuck you. I still know what colors are, god damn it. Yes, I knew it was red. That's not what colorblind is, you fucking clowns.
I thought it was where you couldn't see a color.
Yeah, I see everything in black and white like I'm a fucking dog.
Do you?
No. But yeah, that's how Naota puts it together. Well, not because of that, but because of the game. And he sees a cigarette. He's like, oh no, she's the arsonist, probably, huh?
Yep.
And he flashes back through like pretty much all the dialogue he's had with her throughout the series so far.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. We're just going to go ahead and talk about this.
Let's jump into it.
So there's another kind of like background connotation that if you read too much into it, you can kind of get out of that as well. She doesn't obtain that game until after the first episode when Conti first shows up, right?
Mm-hmm. As far as we know, yeah, it's not referenced.
There's an instance later on in this very episode where it shows a fire being started and she's at the schoolhouse, right? Mm-hmm. So she was nowhere near to be able to set that fire, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
I think what my thought process was behind that is that she started the small fire, walked to the vantage point where she could watch it burn.
The other thing and this is just depending on how you want to read it, because there's no proof to this. The other thing is that little game unit could have come from Conti himself when he still had the red version of him. And when she's sitting there playing it, she's actually setting fires around town.
Like controlling him to set the fire?
Not controlling him, but just like when she does it on the game, it just shows up.
I see what you're saying. I kind of actually thought about that for a second, but dismissed it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's actually like any.
There's no proof to it, but it's a nice like food for thought in the background kind of thing.
Sure.
Especially with again that red color symbolism.
But we can agree that she's starting fires. Yes.
In one form or another, she is starting them.
We get a quick shot of Haruko again communicating with somebody who we may now be able to discern is Miyu because he is not pleased with what she's saying.
He's beating the fucking shit out of her.
And then we get the backstory of 6 years ago, a schoolhouse caught on fire, and Naota's brother saved Mamimi. And yeah, then we get the whole picture with her of how it's so fucking tragic, where she has been in love with him since then because he saved her. And he has effectively discarded her. So she's deluding herself.
The whole whether or not they actually had a relationship or not is actually left vague. So it could be just a one-sided infatuation.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't, like, it's just one-sided now.
He's done left the country, got another girlfriend, left all of that behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just trying to replace him with Naota, with a cat. She's become interested in baseball. She's ostensibly starting fires.
Dude, her shit is really tragic.
She has a tough home life. Either her parents are either divorced or she's poor.
Mm-hmm.
Or both.
I think it's we'll talk about it, but I think her parents are divorced. She drops a line later that implies that pretty heavily. Yeah. Everyone's situation is kind of the same, to be honest. Hers is just, I think, the most exacerbated in that she's literally starting fires to, I guess, try and bring back whatever the fuck the brother's name is.
I thought it was this God thing. Like she's supporting the God now.
What is his name, actually?
It's Ta something. Because call him Takun. Taku, something like that. But yeah, her whole thing is a lot. And to your point, Monkey, like, yeah, I think the God thing is just another level of delusion. But the reason I think she's drawn to starting fires is because the fire is what caused Takun to save her initially and kick off that relationship with her.
The implications is that she was bullied back in the elementary school and then set the fire in there because she hated being there, in her own words.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, she did. I remember her saying she hated the elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that she had started that fire and then what's-his-face saved her. And that was literally like someone saving her life kind of thing. And so... Fuck, she's got a lot going on. Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
The final thing I want to say about this note on Mamimi is the idea, just pay attention to unrequited love. That's a thing. Keep that in mind with every goddamn character and how they all approach it in their own way. Yeah, Mamimi has the whole thing of if you burn it, or it's annoying that even if you burn it, the remains stay of the schoolhouse.
Yep.
She goes.
Which is yep.
She goes to kiss Conti as Naota is rolling up, and then his head sprouts. Naota gets thrown into Haruka, and she's like, "Get the fuck out of my way."
Yeah, she's about it. She's like, let's fucking fight, bro. Get out of my way.
So Conti and Haruko, I keep calling her Haruka. I apologize. Haruko go and fight the robot. Bad shit is about to happen. Naota dashes in, tackles Mamimi out of the way. And yeah, go ahead.
I would actually like to make a note here. When you say that they're fighting, technically Conti is not really fighting. He's kind of more just like, what the fuck is going on here? Why am I being like... He can't say anything because he's not a verbal character, but he's just sitting there like, just getting hit with not actually responding with aggression.
Yeah. And Haruko's not doing a great job either. Fight's not going well.
She gets hit by the taser.
But yeah, Naota tackles Mamimi, and then Conti jumps in and protects them. And Naoto has a moment where he calls for his brother. The symbol on Conti's face changes. The music cuts, and then blip, he eats Naota.
And no, the symbol and his color doesn't change till after he eats Naota.
I think the symbol changes before he eats him. The color doesn't change until after, but the symbol changes.
And then you get sent to this scene. Is it on this one? You get sent to a scene where you see something screwing into the back of his head.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there. You see something just drilling into the back of his head, and then it finally gets all the way down, and it's just a fucking light bulb.
Yeah, there was a really nice animation, which I don't remember what it is, but it's jumping over the robot animation. I guess somebody jumps over the robot. It was just really cool. Just something I wanted to say.
I really enjoyed that. Like, Mamimi. Is that her name? Mamimi?
Mamimi.
Mamimi. She was like, it ain't taco.
It ain't taco.
Yeah, she's like so fucking unfazed by everything that's happening.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like I said, the robot goes ham.
Which is, when you think about it, is not a really good thing.
No, but she's got problems.
Oh,
Yeah,
that she's
I
unfazed.
see.
I see.
Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, she's very disconnected with reality.
Yeah. But yeah, Conti goes red. Little Busters kicks in again. Fuck yeah. Conti turns into a cannon.
It turns into a Housel. That's the kind of cannon he is.
Okay.
Are you really?
I will take your word for it.
said okay.
He blasts him and or blasts the other robot. Haruka lands on top of it and bonks it, and it explodes. The fight has been resolved. Conti literally poops out Naota.
God, I love this. She just said, you're sticky.
Yeah, he's right.
Also, something you have to remember, it's very interesting, but the bullet goes through the guy, but the bullet comes back inside the Housel. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's so weird that's how it goes. It's not like an actual, it's not a bullet, it's like
Some type of energy.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole pooping thing is hilarious.
Yeah.
I just want to bring this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I might be saying what you're about to say, but they kind of have a moment, right? Mamimi and Taka or Naruto. Sorry.
Yeah. Haruko is trying to get on the Vespa and is like, we need to get out of here because she hears the sirens coming, and they're both just not listening at all and just staring at each other.
So I just want to recap. We had like an awesome fucking robot fight, right? Like pretty actiony, all that stuff. We have that really serious moment, and we had like a poop joke all within about 15 seconds.
Pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's for the cooler.
Oof, boys. That's all I got. I just wanted to recap.
Well, to kind of punctuate that the moment between them, Mamimi comments that the ashes blew away.
Oh yeah, that was an excellent quote.
And then as they're standing there, Naota launches into the final monologue of this episode. He says, "At the time, I didn't notice the sirens were coming towards us. I don't know where the lies end and the truth begins. I asked myself what I could do for Mamimi. I decided to stay by her side."
You forgot the forever at the end of that, but anyway.
Yeah, I actually have that here because I just copy pasted these into it like a document, but I didn't remember reading in the show, so I wasn't sure. But now that you say it was there, yes, totally.
So that the whole where the lies end and the truths begin thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's kind of answered later, but has it already been like established that means something yet?
Oh,
I think
boy.
it's more targeted at the Mamimi kind of and her relationship with the brother.
Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely part of it.
Because Naota doesn't quite understand what she was to him. Who, like, she assumes that she started the fire, but she doesn't understand. He doesn't understand like how all of this plays together.
Okay, so that's definitely applied to Mamimi, right?
Yep,
I would
absolutely.
assume so.
Man.
To extrapolate that out, especially since we're about to jump into episode 3, I think this point is like really hammered on with the story with Ninamori. The idea of where the lies end and the truth begins. In the context of episode 2 specifically, you could potentially also apply it to, whether or not Mamimi was actually starting the fires or whatever.
Sure.
But just kind of apply that to every single character. Like outside of Mamimi, apply it to Naota, apply it to Ninamori, apply it to Haruko. Like it works for all of them. And
I ain't got all the time, bro.
Huh?
Honestly, Naota is like the only one that you don't necessarily have to apply that to, because most of the time Naota is named, as his father says in like the first episode, he's named for honesty, and he, for the most part, tends to be a very straightforward, easy to read character.
I think you're right, but he's still lying to himself, and that this will all come to a head like in the back 3, unfortunately. So we can't really drill on it.
Correct, but I'm just saying, like, he's like honestly the one that's the most easy to read as the story goes through.
Yeah, totally agree. But I like I said, I still think it applies to a degree.
So the production company that made this is called, or is it pronounced Gainax?
Gainax.
Gainax, okay. So I got that. So this is our second Gainax, right?
What was our first?
Evangelion.
Oh, yeah, right. God damn it.
I mean, I try to forget too, but but dude, this is the second time like this. They just throw you the fuck in there and say figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally
honestly,
respect that.
kind of about it.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you don't watch it like 2 or 3 times, it will definitely have things that will just straight slip past you, and you have no chance of catching them.
Fuck, that's why you're here.
Honestly, kinda.
Yeah, we good on episode 2?
But yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
have for the
done.
end of episode 2.
Let's do episode 3, Marquis de Carabas.
Purple girl.
What does that mean?
Marquis de Carabas is a story that parallels or is like drawn on Puss in Boots, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's about Puss in Boots, like I said. So Ninamori is in a car talking to who we will later learn is her dad's secretary about her parents potentially getting a divorce. And Ninamori is just like, I don't fucking care, whatever. Look at me, I'm a mature person. Whatever they do doesn't matter to me.
So okay, I got Mad Mistress vibes, but it wasn't like for sure.
I mean, what the hell? I would care. I mean, hell, I'd get 2 Christmases out of that.
Well, it doesn't matter to her. She's already rich.
And like I said, either way, it doesn't matter to her. She whatever.
Also, you should have picked up on it like 100% because she's like, I know you stayed over last night and I see you're wearing the same suit.
Yep. No, she said you changed suits, right?
Oh, did she say that? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and she's like, oh, because you're good at this.
Yeah, I think that was the implication, is that she knew.
Yeah, Ninamori knows.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the scene Monkey was referring to before, where Haruko is outside making a bunch of noise, working on her Vespa. And,
yeah, isn't this it? Oh no,
I was talking about the
he was
Gundam
talking
scene.
about the Gundam. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Naota comes outside and starts yelling a bunch of stuff at her, and then he mutters "alien," and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" Yes.
That's me.
Low life bottom feeder. Alien.
Then her Vespa explodes, but it's fine. I guess worth noting, throughout this entire episode, Haruka is in yet another outfit.
You know, I believe you, but I have not picked up on that a single time.
I have not picked it up either.
Yeah, well, you're fucking simpletons, so.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't like. I think it says something that it doesn't. I don't. It matters, but like,
I'm looking at a bigger context that I know is coming.
I picked up on it, but I don't think it matters much.
I think it just helps to drive a certain point home. But again, we'll discuss that in the back half. Haruko restrains Naota. We don't see fully what's going on, but he is both having a good and bad time.
Yeah, his legs both go to like spaghetti noodles. Like he's just sitting there swinging back and forth. You can tell he's being held up in the air, but you don't know what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
But you know it has something to do with what's underneath it, his ugly ass hat.
Yep. And if you think his hat looks good, Ninamori is there to correct you.
Yep.
There's some shit about him not liking spicy food.
Because he's basic.
Yeah, he's a basic bitch, and he doesn't like sour. He doesn't like spicy. Are we in the classroom yet? Or school?
So yeah, we get to the classroom. We learn that Naota is going to be playing the lead in the play, and he's going to be playing a cat. And the teacher is talking about cats, and she's like, "They like being pet sometimes."
Which is so random. Why is there a fucking teaching lesson about cats?
Their teacher is like 23, fresh out of college.
You know she has cats.
Has cats, painfully single.
The best bit is that they're teaching about cats on this like second grade level or first grade level to sixth graders.
Yeah. Like,
I don't think this class.
good.
I don't think she. See, here's the thing. I don't think she's supposed to be teaching about cats.
Oh, we didn't forget the fact that is it Ninamori? Mm-hmm. She says that whole what's it called the main character's hat is stupid.
Yep.
Although I really do like bucket hats.
Well, I love the way she does it. Like, she's not like, your hat's stupid. She's always like, your hat doesn't look good, by the way.
Yeah. Her shirt is USSR.
Yeah.
Which is
I want that shirt.
a thing.
I don't know why. I don't support them, but I really want that shirt.
Do you want to talk about Owens? Because we know how much you like to talk about World War II and stuff like that.
Nope, you're confusing me with Conan O'Brien again. I understand why you do that. Like, we're on the same levels of notoriety.
We were not confusing you with Conan O'Brien.
In fact, we exchange comedy tips a lot. Like, he's learned a lot from me.
What the fuck?
Listen, Conan, if you want to come on the show and denounce all of these, just let us know. Email us at
Conan, if you want to come on the show and literally berate me for 6.5 hours,
he will be so fucking hard
the entire time. His classmate, Naota's classmates, pass him a magazine.
Okay, so that was a magazine, right? I thought it was like a nude fucking thing at first. Like he was passing porn.
Yeah, we're led to believe that until we see what it actually is, and it's an article about Ninamori's parents.
Mm-hmm. And apparently how the mayor is being investigated by the cops for something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't pick up on that until the very fucking end of the episode.
Yeah, I think it's like the least important part, but her home life is a fucking trash fire. Again.
But she doesn't care.
Because she's another character.
Yeah, she's
fine with it. It's fine. Then we get Naota's monologue for this episode. But Naota's internal monologue says kids can't choose the adults in their lives. They can't choose their parents. Ninamori's father is the mayor of Mabase. I don't really get it, but it must make it tough for her. Of course, that didn't stop me from ditching the rehearsal after school. Playing a talking cat is really too dumb.
I don't get it. This kid should be fine with talking as a cat. He has horns going out of his fucking head.
Honestly, I'm kind of with Naota. Like, dude, I've watched enough anime and played enough JRPGs to like see, like, they put on class plays and they just fucking elect who's gonna star in them. And hell, all the way no, dude. No, thank you.
So he knows.
Okay, what's your hot take, Sizzle Sizzle?
It's not really a hot take, but he knows he has cat ears.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So he specifically says playing a talking cat is dumb.
Uh-huh.
And he is literally a talking cat.
Well, he has cat ears. That doesn't make him a cat.
But like, I think that was
yes,
on purpose.
He is stupid. I agree. He is really dumb.
No, I say he's saying playing a talking cat. Like, I think that there's more nuance to that than just the play.
Sure. The bigger thing I want you to think about here is the cat ears is probably more of perhaps supposed to be a manifestation of what this shit is actually supposed to be, which we'll talk about towards the end of this episode, I think.
All right. Well, time to hate the dad a little bit more.
Well, do we have to? I don't have any notes about the dad.
Well, they
Wait,
they
right?
leave. Nina, and it pans to Ninamori, doesn't it?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Hold on. We totally skipped over Mamimi taking cat pictures with Naota.
Oh yeah, and then she sneaks the photo and essentially has the photo to use for blackmail. Although I don't think she does.
No, yeah, Mamimi's just taking pictures with her and Takun, and then Naota taking pictures with her 2 cats. Oh, and yeah, she has a line of like, Naota's like, I have to be in a fucking stupid play. Mamimi's just like, oh yeah, I used to be in plays. It was super embarrassing, but it was kind of fun. Both my parents would come to them. Mm-hmm. And that's a happy memory.
We keep hitting him in the feels.
And yeah, this is actually where we learned that Naota has cat ears. And then, yeah, his dad is trying to sell magazines, being like, hey, heard they're selling good. Check this out. I got more. You want more?
And it's actually
Would you like 100 of the
It's
same magazine? What the fuck?
It's actually the same magazine that he got in trouble for at school.
Yep. And as it's implied later, he wrote the article about Ninamori's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because she walks in and he's like, hey, you want one of my magazines?
What a dick.
Yeah, Mamimi, we get a little bit of Mamimi talking about Naota's head and Kanti and just like musing on the stuff that's been happening. Kanti's doing something fucking weird in the cupboard and Haruko interrupts him and he looks embarrassed.
He's been collecting these red shards from all the fires that he's been going to. That happened in the second episode. So you keep seeing him find like little red shards. And if I remember right, he's actually building like a birdhouse or something out of all those red shards.
Oh shit, I think you're right. That was probably a spoiler, but damn it.
I mean, it looks like a small birdhouse, but I can't really tell.
Now that you say it, it does. Did anyone else get birdhouse?
No.
Yes, of course I did. I realized the color was red.
Well, you watched all the episodes, so you don't count.
So when you mean anyone else, did I understand that he was building a birdhouse?
Well, I thought Monkey might be honest for a moment and say no.
Actually, I have to be honest. No, I did not. I did not know what the fuck the robot was doing.
Okay, the media is over at Ninamori's, and the secretary sneaks out.
She at first comes through the manhole and then gets spotted and then immediately comes out another manhole right behind Ninamori.
Got him.
And she's like, you're good at this. And she's like, it's because I'm an adult.
It's because I'm an adult. Yep.
We get over to Ninamori practicing lines at the train station, where for some reason Naota is there too and finds her.
I like this conversation. This actually shows that they're both like normal human beings.
Yes, very much. I am a big fan of the Naota Ninamori dynamic. We didn't call it out earlier, but the secretary says something about her about Ninamori's family being nouveau riche.
Yeah. What does that mean?
New rich.
New money.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've said nouveau rich twice now, and I meant to actually look that one up, but like you guys know, I didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah, so and that's why I bring it up, because in this scene, Ninamori drops the nouveau riche line, which he clearly picked up from the secretary and is saying to try and seem more adult.
That's what it was, because she said nouveau something boots or whatever. Nouveau.
What?
Wasn't she talking about boots when she used the nouveau
Oh,
word?
she was talking about the prince or something. No, that's later on, I thought.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact context of why she's. I think it's in reference to herself, because she's like, I'm rich, I'm nouveau riche or whatever. But yeah, Ninamori wants to go somewhere, like go shopping or whatever, and Naota's like, no, I can't. I'm waiting for somebody. I'm waiting for my housemaid or whatever.
The one that won him over and hit him with the guitar. But it's fine. I'll still wait for him.
And the look on his face when she starts approaching too, like, oh, Naota, my man, don't go down this road. There's nothing good here for you. She comes crashing in, hits Naota again with her Vespa. He starts spiraling in on Ninamori.
Well, what a good fucking like this is the one where like circles around him or whatever, like freeze frames.
Yeah, where it's like very slow motion, like they're gonna kiss.
Yeah, the kiss transfer. Yep.
Oh, and if you actually look at it a little harder, you can see like line or like a different color that shows up there that shows the transfer happening. Like it looks like distortion on the screen or something. I can't. How do you put this? It almost looks like vertical screen tear with just like
Sure.
some red coloring show up. It's only for like a couple frames. It's really not that long, but it shows the transfer.
Yeah, I definitely didn't notice that. That's interesting.
And then my second favorite part of the whole series happens.
Well, first I want to say that if it wasn't obvious by now that Ninamori is into Naota, it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they do not kiss. He just crashes into her head.
Yeah.
Prove it.
But yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
And then the fucking, of course, there's just a megaphone there.
Oh,
Don't touch it.
She's like, don't touch the ears. And she's touching the ears. Like, why not? She's like, I don't fucking know. It seems bad. Whatever. Like she loses investment immediately.
I love that part of this. God, so good.
the one of my favorite animation things that I don't know if you guys noticed, but when the Vespa goes and crashes, what's it called? It actually puts out its kickstand and stands straight back up.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
That's
it
great.
does.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the kickstand just comes out, and I'm like, I fucking love small details like that.
God, this show's so fucking weird. Just packed with nonsense. Yeah, Ninamori is just playing with his cat ears, talking to Haruka. Neither of them really gives a shit about what's happening, I guess. Then Ninamori starts to feel sick.
Queasy stomach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, after the chaos.
Yeah, and we cut over to the house. Ninamori is over for dinner. Haruko has bought curry for everyone. she bought Little Prince version because Naota doesn't like spicy food.
That was mild for him.
No, it was mild for Ninamori.
No, that was
Ninamori.
that was an even milder version. But the Prince Curry is mild, and then it's like ultra mild for Ninamori or something. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah, you might be right. Because the dad and the grandpa are having a real bad time.
Oh no, the dad was just going to town, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, but he was like, look at me,
no.
I'm toughing it up. And he's like about to fucking die.
And Grandpa's just fucking facepalm the goddamn plate.
Yeah, Grandpa was. Yeah, he had the face pull. I thought Dad was just like fucking shoveling.
He was, but his face was the face of someone who doesn't want to seem weak eating spicy food.
That's fair.
But yeah, Naota is also having a bad time with his spice. And Ninamori's like, it's just a more adult taste.
Oh, that guilt trip.
And then that's when Haruko drops like she has like the mildest, like her version is basically sweet. Dad starts interrogating Ninamori and she just keeps responding with, it's no big deal.
Yep, it's no big deal. ×3. Oh, did we talk about the TV?
Oh, where
No,
she's like,
this
what the
is
fuck is Kanti?
What is that? He was like,
Yeah.
it's our TV. It was like it just walked away. He goes, yeah, it's a TV Walkman. And then it's like it's eating
So good.
curry.
No, it's a TV Walkman. Oh, a Sony brand?
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually do.
funny.
Yeah, God, everyone in this world is so goddamn stupid.
Well, that's anime for the sake of anime. They will just totally ignore something that doesn't make a lick of sense.
Oh,
is
absolutely.
true.
And it's better for it in this case anyway.
Yep.
Also, the soundtrack in this, specifically, I think in episode 3 is amazing.
Yeah, yes, totally. I think this, I did not write music notes because my entire page would just say music rules. She does drop a little nugget though, as she's deflecting, where she's like, I don't care. My parents live different lives from me, so it doesn't matter what happens because I don't care. And then her stomach gets upset again and she runs away.
I don't care.
Bathroom, that away.
She's taking a bath and the dad is being a fucking weirdo outside the window.
So that was the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not actually creeping in, but he's trying to discuss with her what's going on with the parents and
Yeah.
trying to get more information for his tabloid.
Yeah, exactly. And there is kind of a weird line in there where it's like, do you think I'm a bad person? And she's basically like, I don't care. Whatever, man. Minamori is in Naota's room. She has her glasses on.
She
Now it's
looked
like-
cute.
She does look cute. She's adorable.
And she's just petting away at Chunky Cat.
Yeah, he's that cat probably, he needs a diet. Let's be real. That is not a healthy cat.
Again, bringing his American values into the Japanese culture.
No, if I was bringing American values, I'd say give that cat another fucking cheeseburger.
The cat eats fucking Mickey D's on the rag, bro.
Hey, is there something? Why? What I'd like to know is why you're fat shaming that goddamn cat.
I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying he's not healthy. I've had fat cats. They get diabetes.
You're fat shaming the damn cat. That ain't right.
Okay, fine. Also, she comments that she's wearing Naota's pajamas and they're too small for her, which is just a great little subtle dig at his masculinity.
Yeah. Naoto is a small little boy.
Whether that was intended to be that by her or not, it definitely was from the show.
Yep.
And they start talking. They start talking like, hey, babe, we shouldn't hang out too much. People at school might think this is weird. And then she's like, oh, but it's cool if we hang out tonight. And goes and sits on the bed. Naota somehow, for some reason, lets his head flop onto her shoulder.
And then like
And
freaks
then
the fuck
immediately
out.
freaks the fuck out. Yeah.
This guy know what he's doing.
I don't
think he
so,
knows what he's
but
doing.
I think that
He has absolutely no clue what he's doing.
I really think he wanted that though.
I am inclined to agree. But again, I don't think he knew what the fuck he was doing. But point is, she's like creeping up to Naota on the bed, like getting uncomfortably close to him, being like, you're going to be in the goddamn play, or I'm going to tell everyone about your cat ears. And then she admits that she rigged the votes. And she starts to talk about the story of Puss in Boots. The big crux of it for her is that Puss in Boots basically pretends to be a prince, and eventually it becomes true. So she's taking that as lie enough, and eventually that lie will become the truth.
Oh, I did not know that. That was
Yep.
good. That's good. I like them.
And then we learn Haruko has just been chilling on the top bunk this whole time.
Yeah, because he will.
She's like, blackmailing him, nice.
With that,
No, although I'm just saying, never suspected she would actually be quiet.
that fucking creepy
Yeah, good
ass
point.
smile that she's got.
Over and over again.
I'm just saying, it's completely out of her character. The fact is, she did not butt in to say anything before this happens.
Well, she's
is it?
obtaining enough information to essentially then use it to manipulate it. It fully fits her character.
Nope. I'm just saying, out of last 3 episodes, not last.
No, I totally agree with Vivi.
Okay.
I don't know. She didn't come through the fucking wall with the Vespa and hit anyone in the fucking head. So
We are going to talk about Haruko. I can't say anything right now.
I know, right? That's the issue.
A good bit of at least in the Japanese version, I don't know if it translates to the dub. This whole time where Haruko is talking to them, she's punctuating all of her sentences with a yeah, like a cat.
Yeah, she is. That transfers.
Oh, great! What? So she just says meow at the end, or what?
It's not a meow, but when she makes the smile, a certain noise goes off in the background.
Okay.
So that's how they ended up translating it. It's not necessarily a 1-for-1 translate, but it's there.
Gotcha. I thought that was a great touch because the whole thing is about cats.
Blackmailing him, nice.
Yeah, well, actually, I guess that's actually not a great way to say it because she's like, tricking people's, or people who trick people or honest people are more popular. Tricking people's not nice, which is very hypocritical coming from Haruko. Haruko and Ninamori bicker for a little bit. We go to school the next day. Naota doesn't want to do the play. Ninamori is wearing a hat, like a big sun hat, which this is such a fucking good misdirect. They argue, and Naota is like, no one's gonna come see the play. And Ninamori is like, but my parents will come see it, and they'll come see it together.
yep.
There's an awkward silence. Or no, there's not even an awkward silence because Naota's like, plays are for kids, and she's like, you are a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then he says something like, I don't want to play this stupid role.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be a dumb cat, or like I don't want to play a cat. It's embarrassing. And he knocks her hat off, and there's nothing under the hat. It's fine.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
But then she knocks his hat off, and of course, cat ears.
And then she goes, he hits it off and says, I didn't want to play a dumb cat anyway. And then she knocks his off and says, well, you're the one that really looks dumb with those dumb dumb ears or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, he's mortified and just goes, well, you're the one that cheated to get the lead role.
Yeah, way to fib, dude. Way to fib. She tells you that in confidence. Way to fib.
In confidence? You mean in blackmail?
I think she was confident when she was blackmailing him.
Oh my God. You're such an idiot.
I mean, he's got you there.
You got me there, guy.
Also, can we discuss one thing? Why is Ninamori in a gym outfit
She had Jim.
and no one else in the class has gym?
The rest of them are in their outfits. I'm assuming that they didn't want to put her in the dress because she's going to be a princess when she was sweaty after gym.
Maybe.
It just seems weird.
I mean, there's not really good reason there, but I don't think that they wanted to animate her trying to do a fight scene in a dress.
Wait, Sal.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that this anime is weird?
No, I'm just saying this anime is super fan servicey. From this episode on, it's really fan servicey.
Oh, really? Because it wasn't in the last one where they were staring up fucking Haruko's.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's all over the damn place. I don't know what he's expecting here.
It's fairly tame though, because like they show it, but they don't like. I don't feel like they point it out that much. Like the obviously the pervy guy did, but I know a lot of it has been like wind blowing, like while they're looking off into distance kind of stuff, where you see a little bit of pain.
And it's not like, hey, check this out.
Yeah, it's not like 4 kids are also over there pointing like, yeah, she got bullied and she's got a nice ass.
What? That never happens in anime.
The only like, well, I mean, it never feels like leering or weird. The only times it does feel a little like, oh, this is maybe a little bit uncomfortable is because, again, this is supposed to be largely from Naota's perspective, and he's fucking uncomfortable.
No, it's not. Like I understand this whole anime is fan service, but it really did bug me that she was in a gym outfit. I was just like, I don't see any reason why she's in a gym outfit.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I can think of is essentially what I was saying previously, which is they were in gym. They didn't want to get the dress sweaty that she's supposed to be doing the play in, I think, that night.
Yeah, I mean, logistically, whatever. I think part of it is definitely for animation reasons. And I think part of it is so they could do the gag with Kanti.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so we do the ear. Yeah. So he shouts that she cheated for the election. And then the ears transfer to her, and she starts to go, or they start to sprout, and she goes berserk basically, and tries to attack Naota and Kanti. Haruka attacks, and then she's like, this is not working. We need to get the fuck out. Her and Kanti peace out, run over the teacher with the Vespa.
She calls the Vespa like it's fucking the horse. Oh, what is it?
She whistles.
It's from one of the old westerns where they just whistle and all of a sudden it just comes running.
Oh yeah.
The thing chases Ninamori hanging from the growth out of her head. It chases Naota, or it chases Haruko and Kanti to the roof, dragging Naota along. They have the fight on the roof, and Naota is launched away, but his curry falls out of his backpack and falls inside the monster.
Which is the reason why the robot and Hokori is there, to give them the food.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kanti
ends up catching Naota and transforming.
A little Buster's kicks in.
Did the thing hit her car yet?
That was Kanti coming off the roof to go catch Naota. He crushes the car.
He fucking destroys it, and the kid's like, she was still paying loans on it.
She's still paying that off. Like,
so bad.
Like, why would he know that?
Because the fucking teacher's teaching what cats do. That's why.
I mean, yeah, but
she's the kind of teacher who comes in hungover Monday morning and complains about her car bill.
Fucking car loan. I got 3 more years. Oh, you fuckers are still here. Oh my god.
The monster releases Ninamori and starts to run. Gets blasted by the Kanti cannon.
It's another one of the spoof from earlier in the episode of Bathroom. That way.
Yep. Bathroom? That way.
And then runs off the side of the building.
Yeah, I caught that. I heard you mention that earlier, and I was like, he did say that both there and at the end. I was like, that's a good callback.
I wrote epilogue again, but I only had one epilogue.
I love it when a show does that, when they'll do something in the beginning and then throw it back towards the end.
Okay, I don't remember what the second monologue is. Interesting.
There's a monologue about the fact that it shows they cut after the fight. It shows her on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
It says that the parents didn't get divorced and that he wasn't being pursued by the police for any crimes. And then it cuts to her wearing the glasses on stage, and she goes, "They're fake."
Yeah, she sticks her finger through where the lenses would be.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, it's funny because it's one of those things like it's supposed to represent how she like changed as a being, but then she didn't really because the glasses are fake.
No, the point of the glass, she wears the glasses because they're supposed to make her seem more mature. And her admitting they're fake is her starting to feel more comfortable in who she is.
I would actually go with Salvador on this one.
Yeah, because he tells Naoto, don't tell anybody that I wear glasses.
She doesn't actually wear glasses. She was just setting up another fib for him to try to walk him into a corner.
I can see that. But I mean, the way glasses are typically used as like, I'm going to wear glasses because they make me seem older and smarter. Especially like she's trying to appeal to someone like Naota. I definitely buy into the idea that her admitting her glasses are fake are a sign of growth in her character.
I've got no opinion.
Great. So the one thing I do want to quickly just reference here before we wrap, I don't know, in my watching it in my youth, like it was always like, oh, the stuff coming out of head is like sex stuff, right? It's boners.
Yeah.
It's extremely not that.
No.
Yeah, it's very much more tied to like the person's own emotional internal turmoil, which I'm realizing this time because Mamimi has it, even though she doesn't summon stuff. Naota has it at weird times that are not sexual at all.
It actually, well,
To be fair, that is like, or the early stage boners are like that too.
the other thing is that it can be a reflection of the concept of the two sides of the coin that I was talking about. Those that think rationally versus those that think irrationally. When I say irrationally, I mean off of like feelings and off of that kind of side of their brain.
Sure.
And what happens is when people are able to pull things essentially out of their head, or things start growing out of their heads, is when those coins are standing straight up. For Naota, he's usually the lawful character that just tries to do things in a rational sense. But when he does irrational things is when the coin goes down, split down the middle, and he's got both sides of the coin, and that's when he's able to open the portals.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I actually totally see that theory. I was going to use Ninamori to refute it, but thinking about it, sure, totally.
She's usually the rational person that's trying to play the upstanding character, and then when she goes emotional is when shit goes fucking sideways.
My only problem with that, and I can't dig into it now, is I think that kind of its potential, my mind will change in the next 3 episodes, but I kind of think it goes against what I see to be the thesis of the show.
Well, that's the other thing about the show is it is so fucking open-ended. The thesis, there's no one correct answer.
Absolutely. So yeah, I just want to mention that I think the whatever the thing that causes people to burst out, because even think back to the dinner, Ninamori had another reaction when it was brought up that she didn't, or when she said she didn't care what her parents did.
Yeah, but she didn't have the emotional flair when that happened.
She did, because she was lying.
She was lying, but she didn't have the emotional flair like she did in the classroom when she was going against Naota, where she was just like, fuck the lies, I'm going for this.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's more internal. And this is something we can definitely talk about in the next set of episodes. I just wanted to introduce the idea. Fuck, I have so much big picture stuff I want to talk about. I hope the next set we can just fucking blast through and then just circle. Any closing thoughts on episode 3 specifically?
No.
3 is honestly probably my second favorite out of all the episodes. It's interesting because you see some character motivations that were rather hidden, or people that were trying not to be obvious with it, even though they are completely obvious with it.
Yeah. Any questions, comments, thoughts, hot takes? I guess hot takes only from Anthony.
Dude, I got nothing.
Just this episode or total?
Total. Yeah, this is the last thing we're talking about.
So, out of the 3 episodes, what do you all think? What do you all think? How would you like rate the episodes? Like, which one do you think is the best? Which one do you think is the worst?
For me, best to worst, worst to best.
Best to worst, 1, 3, 2.
Okay, I go 3, 1, 2. Oh no, I go 3, 2. Wait, best to worst, I go 3, 2, 1. Actually,
I go 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. 3, 1, 2. I actually love 3. 3 is really good.
Anthony, how you feeling about Fully Cooley right now?
I'm in. I was in at fucking episode 1, dude.
That's so interesting, dude. I wish I could be watching this series for the first time as a fucking 30-year-old guy. It must be such a wild perspective.
I'm 29, you fuckface.
Close enough.
Not yet. Not yet.
For me, I think so. It's interesting because doing this podcast forces me to engage with stuff on like a level that I don't always. And I wonder how much I would be enjoying the show if I was just like sitting there watching it passively. But sitting here and just like watching it and trying to dig into everything, I'm fucking loving it.
I mean, honestly, even as I actually prefer to watch it as a show that I don't dig too much because it can get kind of confusing and there is way too many open ending or open interpretations. But I like just the straight, just dumb watching it essentially for just dumb fun's sake.
Yeah, I just don't know if that would hit me as good. But I'm very much someone who likes to think and talk about stuff in this kind of way. So
next time on My First Anime, will Chris finally get to fully discuss the characters?
Okay, listen. If we start talking about Haruko right now, like you look back to episode 1 when she did this, but also in that same frame, Naota was doing this. His dad was off the frame. Will Monkey watch the correct number of episodes?
So hopefully you guys are here to discuss alternative and progressive. I've watched all 12 episodes of those 2 shows. You guys better not fucking tell me you guys didn't watch this because I fucking watched it.
Will Vivi have any clue what the fuck is happening with this ending? Also, who's Vivi?
Find out next time on My First Anime.
Did we do one for Anthony?
No.
Will Anthony try to continue dodging the outro? Thanks again for listening to My First Anime. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends and leave a review. It really helps. I'm Chris Bailey, and you can find me on Twitter at Chris R. Bailey or hear me play Pretend on the actualplay.network podcast. And finally, thanks to Slink for the use of 12 Speed as our intro and Winnie the Moog for the use of Speed Energy as our outro.
You can come to my stream, ST Monkey at Twitch, where the O is a 0 in Monkey, so make sure you guys remember that. I play single-player games and multiplayer games, well, sometimes multiplayer games, Tuesdays and Fridays afternoons. You can also follow my Twitter at STMonkey, also O is a 0, and my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly containing dog photos of my dog. He's a poodle. And Shih Tzu.
You can reach out and contact us on Twitter at MyFirstAnime or email at myfirstanimepodcast@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined, my personal Twitter and Instagram are both Sir Paperplate, where you will find only pictures of my cat. And once again, thanks for listening to
My First Anime.